Hey guys, so today I thought we would make a very simple, very basic isometric chair in Affinity Designer. So to begin, I have a 10" by 10" document, and then I'm pretty much just going to go up to the isometric panel here and go into grid settings. Now, if you don't have the isometric panel, it is just window and isometric right there. So then we're going to go into grid settings, show grid, which obviously shows your grid. And for spacing, I'm just going to do 0.3 because I just always do 0.3. I don't know why. It's something to do. Now, I might do more divisions later if we want to get into some more details, but for now, I'm going to keep it at 1. And then hit close, and we can start drawing. So when you want to draw in isometric mode like this, you may have to make sure that edit in plane is on. If not, you're just gonna draw like a normal person. But we want to draw in the plane, and specifically, actually we want the side plane to start with a chair, which adjusts the grid for us so nicely, and you can see how it adjusts when you pick on a different plane. But again, we are starting on the side plane with our snapping on, so we can tell when our little cursor is on the correct spots. So let's start by drawing the back of the chair. So I'm just going to use this tool. I probably should have mentioned that, the rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw in plane the back of the chair. Now let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe try that. We're going to try that. And bring that down. Ooh, does that look good like a back of a chair? Maybe we should give that a slightly darker color. Maybe a purple. Maybe a light purple. Lightish grayish purple. Yeah, I can deal with that. So next, I am going to give it a back. So I'm just going to click on the top plane here and give the chair a top, not a back, a top first. And I'm going to give it a lighter color, not super light, just lighter, like a lighter purple. And then I'm going to do the other side, the front side, and draw it down there. And for this one, I'm just going to press I and grab this purple color here, and then select a slightly darker purple color, because I want my light coming in this way, so this side of the chair would be the darkest. All right, now I may end up adjusting the size of that because I'm going to probably put in some like little slats so it looks more chair-like or more cherry. But I think to start, let's just do the seat of the chair where your bum goes. So again, using the rectangle tool there, I'm just going to drag here, and I'm going to press shift so I get a nice square chair like that. And how are we looking? It's kind of big, but I think it's working. Maybe I will bring everything up just over here because we still got to put those legs on the chair at some point. And for the color, this is pointing upwards. It's on our top plane, so we want that to be the same color as that. And then next, we are going to grab the front and do the front down this side, and that will need to be the same color as that one. And then we will do the side plane and do the same thing and make it the same color as the side. All right, now before I do anything more, I'm just going to do a quick check and make sure that all of my shapes do in fact align with the corners, and they're all perfect. Because if they are not, we are going to run into some problems later, but they all look pretty good. So I think we are good to go. Okay, now let's do our slats before moving on. So actually what I'm going to do first before I do any of that is select everything I've done and Alt drag it over here so I have a pretty little copy there in case I mess up and have to go back, because it happens on a regular basis. Yeah, and might as well, just, it's vector, it's free space, use it. Okay, now to do the slats, again, same rectangle tool. I'm mostly going to be using that one and the pen tool for this whole video. So we are just going to draw the little slats, probably like that. And I'm going to just use the the I key to select just a white color here, so I know what they look like before I actually divide the shape up. Okay, so we'll do that, and then I'm going to alt drag over here and alt drag again. And see, we already have an issue here, so I obviously can't have it like that because that looks pretty weird. So we will say goodbye to you, but now I can make the chair smaller, or I could make it bigger and make another slat, a chair slat. So why don't we do that? Because I just like that option better. So which one? Well, let's move this out a little bit and move that out as well, and just bring this out by 1 and out by 1, and again alt drag, make sure you're on the right plane. And how does that look? That looks pretty good. I think we can work with that, and then we'll just bring everything back in. That includes this guy, although we didn't change that, so we will need to change this as well. Now, if I want this to continue being a nice square, I'm going to have to expand it. So I'm just going to press Shift and bring it out again and pull this guy out and put that back and bring it out as well. So how have we got, how are we looking so far? It's pretty chair-like. I got nothing else. It looks like a chair. All right. Yep. Okay. So now what to do? Well, I think we're going to do, before we do the legs, we're going to do the other side of the chair slats here. So let's see. So we basically established that the chair is this thick. So it's 1 thick. But what if I made it not that thick? What if I made the back so it was a different thickness than the part you sit on a chair, which, would be pretty normal for a chair. So I can keep this down here, the 1 thickness, but I will go into grid settings and I will give myself 2 divisions, and then I will change the thickness of this. So just by bringing everything in just a little bit, and I will adjust this guy, but it's still the 1 width here, but these guys are just a bit smaller, which means I can give the slats a little bit more detail. So grabbing my pen tool instead of the rectangle tool, I'm just going to draw in the next isometric shapes and do it like that, and then use my the I key, the letter I, to grab the eyedropper. That's what I'm trying to say. So we've got it like that, and that matches the thickness of the back of the chair. And then I'm going to draw the one that goes down here. And for that, I will also use just the pen tool because we've got this corner thing here. So just using the rectangle tool isn't going to work. And click the color you want. And I want that color, but I want it without the stroke, please. Thank you. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to click that and click that. And I'm going to click and, or alt click and drag that because I'm going to copy it. Whoops, that didn't work. I'm going to copy it all the way down here. So it looks good. Ooh, yeah, that looks good, right? That looks so good. Love it. Looks awesome. Okay. Maybe now we can do the actual chair legs. So the chair can stand up on its own 4 feet. Well, I like how that all looks, so I'm going to zoom out, grab everything again, and I'll drag it over there. Maybe I'll just stick it here. No, I'll put it over there. So I've got my stuff. Okay. Now I'm realizing what I forgot to do. That is still a shape. Okay, well, I forgot to do that. Whoops. All right. So I actually don't want that to be a shape. I want that to be a nothing. So actually I'm going to keep the grid on, but let's put that back to one division. And I'm going to select the white there, that white, that white, that white, and the actual chair backing, and I'm going to hit divide. And now I can go in and delete that. Select, delete, and do the same thing. So now it is that's a great representation. It is actually just, proper slats in a chair. Ta-da! So fancy, so fancy. Okay. So that's what we want it to look like. But we also, before I move on, because this chair seat and this are, the same piece, essentially, I am going to actually make them the same piece. So I'm going to bring this guy in a bit here, and this guy, and this is just so we don't get any seams showing. So I want my shapes overlapping nicely before I combine them, basically. So let's select that guy and the seat, this guy, this guy, this guy, and we are going to click add. So now our chair seat is all one beautiful little shape like that. Nice. Okay, and this is all still one piece. And now this will also need to be one piece because that is also going to be the same piece of the chair. So again, I'm just going to bring it down to overlap it and add. Now I'm going to do another quick little check just to make sure everything is still on the grid and all nice and perfect, and it looks pretty good. All right. So we have the start of our chair. And now I think we should probably do the chair legs, right? Yeah, probably. We could give it like, some cool like tank legs or wheels or something, or I don't know. I think maybe we won't do that. We'll just do a normal chair because that's kind of what I promised. So let's do that. So I think our chair legs, now they could be the thickness of the chair back or they could be the thickness of the chair seat. We have some options here. Okay, well, why don't we maybe do both and see what actually looks good. So I'm going to do the legs down here first. So I'm going to click on side and just draw however long I think the chair legs should be. Is that an appropriate length? That actually seems pretty good. Yeah, okay. Now let's select everything and bring this chair up just a little because I want more room. And that looks aligned to my grid. Perfect. So do we like this chair leg? Do we hate this chair leg? Yeah, I think we'll go with that for now. If we don't like it, we will just change it. So rectangle tool again, and this time on the front, grab this and pull it up and get the right color because it is facing that way. And now you've got a couple options here. You could convert this to curves and just simply bring that down, which is what I usually do. Or you could have just basically moved that particular shape to the back by going arrange, move to back. That works too. But I do kind of like my shapes being, fitting in nicely and not just relying on overlaps. I like things to be like nice and clean and good, especially if we want to add a stroke later. Then it's good to have everything be the correct shape that we need it to be. So let's select this chair leg, the whole thing, shift select. So we got the whole thing. I'm not going to group it just yet because I'm going to eventually bring this part of the leg, the side of it, and this side of the chair together, and they'll be best friends. Okay, so let's, I'm going to go Shift Alt so I can drag it along the grid here and then just shift it into place. So it is on the same grid lines here. So it's, how it should be. And just using, what's this one called? The node tool. That's right. The node. And just bring that up and have it overlap this guy. Okay, so yeah, it's looking very cherry right now. And same thing again, looking to select this, and on my front plane, I'm gonna drag that up. Whoops, did I lose it? No, here we go. Up to here and there. Now that is not going to do that properly because I have my shorter my shorter chair back there. So I'm going to go into grid settings, go divisions 2, and then I should be able to put this right into the right spot. And how does that look? That is correct. Yeah, that's on the same line going up that way. So with these guys, I can bring that, well, maybe I'll just, I'm actually going to bring my divisions down again, because when you add divisions to the grid, it can get a little chaotic, and yeah, it's less fun. So I'm going to go convert to curves and just bring that down, and let me grab it down here. And there we go. Now, do we add a fourth, actually, hang on, I'm going to save that. No, do we add a fourth chair leg? Well, good question. It depends if we're going to see it. So sometimes you would see it and sometimes you wouldn't. So I'm going to grab that and I will group that together because I'm going to move it. Question is, where am I going to move it? Well, I'm going to move it so it is directly under here. So it would be about here, which brings me back to my point before. Are we going to see it? It doesn't look like we're going to see it, so no. And if we try to force seeing it and put it there, I mean, that looks kind of good, but it's also not aligned, and it's going to look weird, just really weird. Yeah. Should we try a 3? No. So let's just delete that. And basically, we have our chair now. That's pretty much it. Now, how does this look proportionally? Is it... The back, honestly, might be a little short. That probably should be a bit taller. But that is actually an easy fix. We just, redraw the entire thing from scratch. No, I'm kidding. We don't do that. That'd be crazy. We're not gonna do that. I don't have the patience for that, and I know you don't either. So let's just bring it down right there. And we have a little bit of room to bring it up a bit. Again, I am going to bring my grid settings up and go to divisions, and then we are just going to bring the chair backing up again, so make it look more like a chair. Okay, chair, let's see what we can do with this. I am going to bring up the back first, and how's that? Do we like that? That's a bit taller. I think we can deal with that. And I'm going to use the direct, is that what it's called? Node tool. The node tool, not direct selection. That's Illustrator, right? Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to grab all those things and just bring them up. Bring this, that's just one shape, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just going to drag the nodes up. And then same with all of these guys. I'm going to select them, then select them again, and drag the nodes up. All right. So yeah, that's not too hard at all, fortunately. So let's take off our second division here. So we get one division, and I think that is way more chair-like. Hello, chair. So now the next things we can do are add a lovely little stroke by selecting everything and selecting stroke. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Now we want to have our round cap, our round join, and I think our center align for our stroke, and that just usually makes everything look really nice. Let's bring that up to maybe 2. How are we looking? That's pretty good, but you can see where we haven't joined these shapes here. So let's grab that and that one and make that the same shape, that one and that one. And it's all the same shape, and this guy as well with the side here. Nope, this is a group, so we need to ungroup that. So I'm going Control-Shift-G to ungroup it. There we go, and now we can select them and group them together. Beautiful. Now we have our awesome chair with a stroke that might honestly be a little too dark for it. So why don't we go to like a nice dark purple? Let's grab this purple. And like that, or maybe a lighter. Maybe that works. And let's try maybe a 3 here, just to see how it looks. Oh, we didn't do this guy. That also needs to be one shape. Okay. Yeah, the baby's with me, or, well, she's not even a baby anymore. She's a toddler, and she's kind of noisy. So, oh yeah, she knows I'm talking about her now. She's laughing. So just try to ignore the toddler, who should be asleep and is not asleep. Yeah. And now the very last thing we can do with our magnificent purple chair here is to add a little bit, and I mean just a smidgen of shading, just because it's fun, so why not? So I'm going to once again grab the rectangle tool, and I'm going to click on the top because that's where we are putting our shadows. And well, I'm just going to draw. So I'm going to draw a little shadow here, make sure it is on the right spot. And maybe drag it out to here about. Yeah, that works. Right there-ish. And I do not want a stroke for this, but I am going to make the whole shape that dark color. Baby's very loud. I'm sorry. And then because we have a stroke, I'm actually going to... She really wants to add her own thoughts. She really does. I'm going to bring this maybe to here. Yeah, so it works, and it looks like it's coming off the shape rather than just a part of the shape. So maybe bring that out one more. Yeah, okay. Well, now she's dropped her block, and now things are going to go bad. All right, crisis averted. I got her block back. Let's try to work on these shadows before she knocks over my microphone. Yeah, I'm going to run out of room here. So why don't I just go and make the whole document a little bit longer? Why not maybe 12? Let's try 12. Yeah, 12 does. 12 works. 12 will do. Now, that threw off the entire alignment, so we are just going to have to realign everything, but that shouldn't be too hard. And we are done. Yeah, okay, so that worked. That worked really well. Okay, so now again with the shadow, again we just do a straight solid color like that, and I use the transparency tool, figure out which way the transparency tool goes, and we just do a soft little shadow like that. Make sure it does actually fade into nothing, because if it doesn't, it's just going to look a little weird. Like if it has a block like that, it's not going to work. So you want it to fade into absolutely nothing like that. And then you can play around with the layer, the transparency of it. Oh boy. Yeah, she's loud. Okay, so we could have it like that, or we could make it a little bit less intense. I'm sorry, she is so loud. I mean, she could be screaming, so this isn't actually so bad. Okay, and then so we've got that, and let's drag down another one here. And then drag down another one over here. Did that work? Nope. That did not work. So let's fix this guy a little bit by bringing him out there and that way. So it looks good. Yes, it does. And why don't we put on a actual layer effect like multiply? So when we drag these up here, it looks even better. Although multiply does have the issue where it, does this, and we don't want that. So let's bring it to something else that doesn't change. So darker color. Yeah, darker color works. Because then it's not going... I'm trying to talk over the toddler. Oh my goodness. So it's not going to change the look of the stroke here, and we can just have it over top. She does not know when to be quiet. Again, she is happy, so it could be worse. And we will bring it way over, I think here. It should be pretty subtle. And like that. Alright, so let's see how that looks when we zoom way out, and I like that. We will also change these guys to darker color, because that is what we should have started with. Where is darker color? Am I blind? I feel like I'm blind now. I'm not seeing it. I think I just went blind. Darker color. Okay, it's way at the top. Let's select these ones again. And right there. Okay, yeah, I was just momentarily blind. That's fine. That happens sometimes when you've been staring at something for way too long. Okay, let's drag this over here. And I'm going to go Control J, Control J. Yes, tiny child. Okay. And then we have our beautiful shadows. Yay! Okay, now, do we want to change anything else? Well, let's take off our grid here so we can actually see what it looks like. Ooh, yeah, that's cool. I like that. It is pretty simple, as promised, and I think it's a chair someone could actually sit on. Like it looks like a chair. I'm not sure what other requirements it needs to meet other than looks like a chair. Has a back, has a seat, has legs to stand. Yeah, I think we nailed the chair. Okay. So now let's give it a background color because why not? Nope, we don't want that. We want it to not edit in plain. We just want a pretty standard background color here. Let's try yellow because yellow and purple is generally a pretty good combination. Ooh, maybe a bright crazy yellow. Ooh, bright crazy yellow it is. Yeah, okay. Now why don't we change this color to be a slightly brighter, crazier purple, but without actually going in and adjusting everything. So let's just select that, make sure it is on the fill color, go select, same and fill color, and then it automatically selects everything, and then we can adjust the fill color. Ooh, we can do that nice, slightly darker one. And I like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Let's see, do we want to adjust anything else? I kind of like the colors, actually. They are working for me. All right, so now for some final finishing touches, I think we should bring this down in opacity just a little bit. Yes, okay, that's good. And let's also change the seat and, or I guess the top color. So select it, again, go select and select same fill color. And I'm just gonna have a little bit more contrast between the various colors. So I'm going to make this just a brighter color, like, maybe like, yeah. How bright should we go here? Maybe to about there, without it being actual white. Just maybe like there. Okay. All right. Now, I think we can probably be done. All right, so that is purple chair. So let me know if there is anything else you guys want to see in isometric style. Any other like basic household things like, I don't know, sofas or tables, or I don't know, more exciting things like, I don't know, like pizza or sushi rolls or something like that. Or, I don't know. There's a lot of options. Maybe like a retro boombox or something. Ooh, actually I like that idea. Oh, good. The baby has decided to be extremely loud now. Okay, well, I'm going to go get her to bed. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.